time with breaks in between. Hopefully you enjoy it. A lot of great content that you're going to be learning. Now, once again, my name is Fausto Pugliese. I'm the president and founder of Cyber Trading University, and I'm going to talk about the hidden benefits of level 2 trading. Now, before we get started, I always like to get to know a little bit about the audience to see what kind of traders everyone is that are logging in here. So can everyone just give me a chat and let me know what kind of trader is everyone? Are you a stock trader, day trader, swing trader, forex trader, futures trader, options trader, all the above? What kind of trader is everyone? A beginner trader? Okay, there you go. A little bit of a swing, forex, options, advanced options. Okay, beginner, forex. All right, Prince, thanks. Bob, future trader. All right, now just to let you know, the great thing about today's event is that you are going to get a flavor of every top speaker in the industry that's going to talk about each specific market that you want to learn. So my expertise is stock trading, and you're going to hear people talk about forex trading and futures and options. And the thing I just want you all to know is that 70% of all of us here that are going to speak we talk exactly the same. We trade exactly the same. The difference of the 30% is we trade different markets. So the thing I want all of you to know is that everyone here needs to learn all the markets, how they work. Doesn't mean you have to trade all the different types of markets, but every market will affect another market, okay? Obviously, you see what happened with the forex market, what's going on with China, and it affected the stock market yesterday. You know, I mean, basic little things like that. But what you're going to learn is that we all have a strategic, strategy how to attack certain markets. Now, what I'm going to talk about is discovering the hidden benefits of the market, so you know a little bit more about it. So let me just do a quick little disclaimer. For all of you, for our friends over here in the compliance department at Cyber Trading University, just guys, remember there's a very high risk of trading in the markets, and past results don't indicative of future returns. And Cyber Trading University, all its individual affiliates on the site, assume no responsibility of your trading investments. To learn more about our risk disclosure, please visit the homepage of our website. Now, a couple of things we're going to be learning today. I'm going to talk about level 2 versus level 3, which is known as total view. I'm going to talk about time and sales. I'm going to talk about the KISS method, which is specifically how to trade with charts, keeping it simple, finding stocks to trade, and so much more. All right? So those are things we're going to cover. But just a quick little brief, I know that Joe was just talking a little bit about who I am, but have any of you guys ever seen me do a speaking before? Just out of curiosity, if anyone has heard me the first time, is it the 5th time? Just to let me know, 1, 2, 0. Okay, never. All right, good. 3 times. 8 times, Mike. Well, thanks for coming back. You're a current student, Tim. Thank you. Appreciate that you're a student. Hopefully you've been learning a lot. All right, just always want to get to know if any of you ever seen, and it's important that you constantly see the same person, because you always learn something new. And the thing I want all of you guys to know is that the way you become a very good trader is you need to interview every instructor, because you all need a mentor, okay? I just want to give you guys a little advice. You are not going to be a self-taught, successful individual in trading, okay? And I'll prove it to you. Would anybody here give their money to a financial analyst that never went to school to learn how to trade? Well, guess what? You're doing the same exact thing. And the reason why I bring that up, because I was a hypocrite when I was a young little kid, because I thought I could be the self-taught individual. First of all, I was very antsy. I wanted to go out there, and I said, you know what? I live here in New York. It's the financial capital of the world. I see so many people driving nice cars. Everybody's making money in the stock market back in the early 90s. I'm saying, you know what? Let me go out there and start trading. Well, I literally almost lost over 6 figures of my own money. Why? Because of ignorance. I never took the time to stop and listen to have someone teach me how to trade, because I was trying to pretend to be a trader, which I'm not. Well, Fortunately, living in New York, I was trained by some of the best traders. I said, you know what? I did exactly what you guys are doing today. I went out of my way, and I said, you know what? This is the best job in the world. You are your own boss. You could do it anywhere in the world, and do it in your pajamas in your house. I need to know from the professionals what they're doing right, what I'm doing wrong. And let me tell you, what I've learned on the first day on the job should have never, ever made my first trade, ever. I was doing everything backwards. And what I'm going to go over really quick, I'm going to show you some of the things that you're doing backwards. And you're probably going to sit there and scratch your head and be like, my God, is it trading that simple? Yes, it is that simple. The reason why people fail in trading is because discipline, experience, and the most important rule, no one ever trained you. Now, just to let you know, I started cyber trading back in 1995. I was a very, very successful. I was a market maker on the NASDAQ. I used to day trade. One of the original SOS bandits. If anybody reads any of the old books, you can learn a little bit more about it. And I know this might sound crazy, but when I started almost 22 years old. I'm actually 42 right now. And I was semi-retired at the age of 24. Now, the reason why I say that is because what I'm going to talk about is timing during the day. Trading is a part-time job, okay? 10% of your time is going to be spent on trading, I'm sorry. 90% of your time is going to be spent on learning. Once you learn how to trade, you got all that 90% of that time free, okay? So that's how I got into the education business. So people always ask, Fausto, why do you teach? Well, first of all, I love teaching. I have a passion to teach. I went through what a lot of people went through, losing money. Don't like that to happen to anyone. And one thing I try to prove to everyone that I was a great trader is that I competed against every single school in the industry, and I beat every single one of them. I went to Paris, China, Canada, all over the U.S., 12-time champion, the Traders Challenge, and the Money Show. So, which I'm very, very proud to say. So the thing is this. Let me show you how a champion trades. Let me show you how Wall Street market makers trade, because I was one of them. So let's change and go right into level 2, okay? Let's talk about level 2. Now, does anyone here know how to read level 2? I mean, I know a lot of brokerage firms, they talk about it, you see it. Do you guys know what it is? Well, Pablo, hopefully we can fix that problem right now. It's never, listen, one thing my mentors always taught me, it's never too late to learn. All right, a lot of you don't know. Okay, so let me show you guys a little bit what this is. Hold on. Let me choose a color here. Okay, so these are the buyers. These are the sellers. Column number 1, those are brokerage firms, 4-letter symbols. If anyone's interested, I'll be happy to email you what their 4-letter symbols are. Column number 2, those are the prices that the brokerage firm wants to buy the stock for. And column 3 is the amount of shares they want to buy. Now, on the sell side, which is known as the ask, these are people looking to sell it. Brokerage firms want to sell it, the price they want to sell it for, and the amount of shares they want to sell. Now, everything there is multiplied by 100. Now, when you work your way down that list, NASDAQ, First Boston, Archipelago, EDGX, the CBOE, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, First Boston, Jeffrey Securities, Webler, you're going to know these people on a first-name basis, okay? These people control 70% of the market. Now, 70% is the thing that you have to know is the magic number, because the way stocks go up and go down, the way the markets, futures, anything, get driven by supply and demand. Okay? Now, have any of you guys ever heard of high-frequency trades? Ever heard of high-frequency trades? Why is, Jim has a very interesting question. Why is First Boston buying it at 31.50 and selling at 31.70? Because he wants to make 20 cents on the trade. He has a game plan. Now, some of you heard of it. High-frequency trades are basically control 70% of the volume of the market, okay? Now, if I was able to teach you right now where I could show you how we're 70% of the market, what would that be worth to you? I mean, is that worth anything? Is it important? Wouldn't it help you on your trades? Mike says a lot. Priceless, right? Look at all this. Hell yeah, right? Exactly. Well, this is this is what woke me up when I realized I was trading totally backwards. Now, what about the other 30%? The other 30% is the 10 million people like us. Okay, that's where that 30% comes in. And if I had a choice to follow you, Sherman, or Goldman Sachs, I'd rather follow Goldman Sachs. The whole thing is you can't try, you can't and you will not and will never be a leader because you're not moving millions of shares like they are. So if you can't be a leader, why don't you be a follower? Remember, you're just trying to make a day's pay. You're in this business for one reason. That is to make money. That's it. Why else are you here? Are you here because you woke up one morning and says, oh, I went to Costco and I think it's the best store in the world. I'm going to buy all the stock I can. And then next thing you know, you wake up the next morning and the thing gets crushed. And be like, I don't understand why. One thing I learned as a trader is that there's no such thing of investing anymore. Okay? And I know that might sound crazy, but you know what? The markets get driven by trading. Okay? How many times have you bought a great company and the thing never goes anywhere or ends up going down? Or how many times have you seen the most garbage company in the world and it's worth a ridiculous, the thing won't stop going up? And you're like, how could this thing be going up? It makes no sense. That is trading. So let me just change the slide here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's the big thing. Level 3. Now, when I first started, level 2 used to cost me $800 a month to get it. And I was like, I'm not paying $800. First of all, that's a lot of money 20 years ago, okay, $800. But then, and that was one of the reasons why I failed, because I was being cheap. But I didn't realize that, you know, being a penny cheap is a dollar foolish, because that 800 almost cost me over 100,000. So the thing was this. Finally, when my mentors, after they showed me what it is, then I realized it was part of doing business. You know, like anything else. Anybody here in business, you know there's costs, right? Anybody owns a business, you know there's costs. If it's rent, if it's supplies, if it's employees, if it's insurance, there are expenses. So just to let you all know, if you're looking to get into the trading business, just give you a little advice, nothing is free. The only thing that's free is the cheese and the mousetrap. You want to make money? I'm just letting you know, be prepared that when you go into business, you got to pay for something. If you don't pay for anything, mark my words, 95% of you are not going to make money, okay? And I'm just being like a typical New Yorker. Here in New York, you know, we're just we shoot straight for the hip. And I'm just giving down the facts. I've done there. I've seen it. I've trained hundreds of thousands of people in my time. I've seen, you know, and you could probably notice, trading gets a very, very bad negativity of telling people that, you know, you're wasting your time, you're going to lose your money. And the reason for that is because people try to go away and try to do things for free, and it's just not going to happen. So how do you get away with this free stuff? How do you know when to get in and buying and selling? So there's a new thing. Well, it's not been new. It's actually called, when I first started, it was called Instinet. Now it's called Total View. Now level 2, what I used to pay $800, you can get for free now, okay? So what happens, market makers know now that they're being exposed, and now you can see who they are. Now what they're doing is they're hiding their orders behind ECNs, okay? And ECNs are called Electronic Communication Network, which, by the way, all of you have access to. ECNs, in layman terms, the easiest way to explain it is like driving your own car. If you're dealing with online brokers right now, you're dealing with public transportation. It's cheap, it's convenient, you know, They advertise. They do a nice job. But we all know we all need our own driver's license, okay? We know when we need public transportation. We know when we need to drive our own car. Okay, direct access and total view give you the access to drive your own car. Now, what you're seeing, the difference between level 2 and total view, about 20 times more data, okay? Did you hear what I said, ladies and gentlemen? 20 times more. Who here has total view or level 3? Anybody here have level 3 total view? Bill, obviously being my student, okay. Well, let me just tell you, total view is going to show you 70% of the volume out there in the market. Now, the thing is this. Carrie, thanks for coming, Carrie. I appreciate all you guys coming here. It looks like I have a few students that came in today. Well, thanks for coming. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the class this week, too, that we did. A lot more to come with that. Now, the thing about total view is that this is where you see all the big block orders. Now, just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think 100 shares could influence the price of the stock to go up or down? Yes or no? 100 shares. Well, if the stock only trades 100 shares a day, absolutely. But when you're trading stocks that are trading 2 million, 5 million, 10 million shares, you know, 1 million shares, I don't really think so, okay? So the thing is this. What I teach you, and this is what my mentors train me, I show you how to look for the big block orders. Now, does anybody here know how to read charts? Anybody here know how to read a chart? I guess everyone feels happy. Yeah, I know how to read a chart, Fausto. Raise your hand if you know how to read a chart. Somewhat? I got news for you guys. 80% of you are reading them backwards, too. That's another thing. I train you, too. Don't take that in the wrong way. It's the actual truth, because I spent months reading every book, and then when my mentor showed me, he's like, my God, I can't believe it. This is really, now I realize what I was doing backwards. But let me tell you about a chart, okay? When you look at a chart, you see those support resistance levels, you know those pivot points, those peaks and valleys, the teacups, those heads and shoulders. You know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Do you know what makes those heads and shoulders, those support and resistance levels? Do you guys know? That's right, buyers and sellers, supply and demand. Now, let's look at an example right here, all right? You see this you see how the stock went all the way up right here, and then it stopped right there and it went down? Why did that stock stop right above $15? Well, the reason it stopped at 15 because it wasn't the 100-share seller that knocked it down. I hate to use the word manipulate, but, you know, you could say it any way you want to look at it. But the truth is this. It was the seller at 2,000, okay? That's what pushed the stock down, all right? And then if the stock was to break through that resistance and someone took that 2,000-share seller, and then you wonder, well, how much higher could the stock go? Well, the next resistance, which you can't see on the chart, is probably going to be the next biggest 10,000-share seller. Now, let me time out. Next question people are going to ask me. They say this, and I get it all the time, so I'm going to answer for you. Fausto, people tell me those are fake orders. How do you know that's a real order? And this is how I'll prove it to you. Go out there and execute the guy and see if it's real or not. Okay? If you think that's a fake order, go out there and execute him. Anybody want to do that? Anybody want to call his bluff? Yes or no? Anybody want to see if that guy's fake? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, so it is a real order. Now, have you ever gone out there and put an order and changed your mind and decided, maybe I don't want to sell it. I want to hold on to it. Change your mind? Sure, you could cancel his order all the time, right? There's nothing, just because you put an order out there doesn't mean that you can't cancel it, right? So that's what those are. Pablo, dark pools, if you want an article on dark pools, at the end of this presentation, I'll give you an email. I'll give you my personal email, and I'll tell you a little bit about dark pools. That's insider trading that's going between brokerage firms. The least of your problems right now, okay? Don't worry about dark pools. What you should be worried about is the high-frequency trades. Now, let me just point this out. Here you have a stock. You're making money with it. The stock goes all the way above $15, and look what happened. It dropped all the way to $14.70. If you had 1,000 shares of that stock, and you're looking to make $200 a day, and next thing you know, the thing just drops on you about 30 cents, you know, and the only reason why it went down because of the big seller out there, that's a lot of money, okay? That's where a lot of you here need to understand about how to trade. And trading is playing the game. Here's another example. You could see that that is a pivot point. That's a resistance. And when you break through a resistance, you know, now it becomes support. All right? And you sit there and you wonder, like, why does this stock have a support level? Why does it have a resistance level? The truth is this. Mr. Fibonacci doesn't manipulate or control the stock market or the futures or the Forex, okay? Mr. Bollinger Band doesn't do it. Mr. 200 moving averages doesn't. What does is buyers and sellers. And when you look over here on the high-frequency trades and you start looking right around that $8 price range, you could see, well, no wonder it went past $8.09 because it's only a 400-share buyer. Could a 400-share buyer make a support level? Well, it could, but realistically, I would probably say, and after looking at the chart, oh, look at that. You got a 2,100 share buyer at 803, 1,600 at 802, 2,900 801, 10,000 at 8, and 5,300 at 799. No wonder when it went to those prices right there, it had a tough time breaking it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what makes support and resistance levels is the high-frequency trades. Well, I'm sorry if I'm getting a little crazy with the writing here, but I feel like John Madden on Monday Night Football. But the thing is this. You have to understand where the buyers and sellers are. Now, here's my question to you, all of you here. When you guys trade, do you see where the buyers and sellers are? Do you see buyers and sellers? Regardless, Paulo at the $25,000 day trade, that's irrelevant right now, okay? That is the least, the number one biggest mistake that everybody makes in trading is they open up an account, okay? So regardless about the $25,000 day trade, regardless about which brokerage firm, regardless, that is the least of your problems. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. When you go out and you want to be a doctor, what do you become a doctor first? Or you go to school and learn to be a doctor and then become a doctor? Or how about this? You're a parent. Do you go out there and buy your son a car first? Or do you take him to driver's ed school to learn how to drive and watch him? It's the same thing when it comes to trading. So the thing is this. All of you are saying you don't know where the buyers are. That is why most people lose money in the market. And this is why my mentors told me, this is Fausto, you and the rest of your friends out there, and this is 20 years ago, and this is why I love what I do, because I never realized how important it was, not only until he told me, but until he showed me. Now, at the end of my presentation today, which is going to end about another 15 minutes, I'm going to invite all of you to come and watch me trade live and show you for not one, but for 5 days. That's right, 5 days to watch me trade, in the market and see this data actually happening. And you're going to see, I'm going to show you how to make $200 to $500 a day, okay? And let me tell you, I don't know about you, but if I can show you make $500 a day and working an hour a day, it's a nice $100,000 a year salary. I know some of you here on Social Security, or some of you want to trade your own IRA, or too overqualified to find a $100,000 a year salary because some young kid took the job from you. You know, listen, trading is the best job in the world. It really is. But you need to know how to play the game. Well, Michael, once again, I'm here specifically talking about stocks, okay? So regardless about, the other, you can have the other speakers come in and you can listen to them. They'll tell you a little bit more about it. But let me just tell you, stocks are really easy to trade, and everything else will relate with everything that we're talking about here, okay? Now, how to make that much money, about 200 to 500. Listen, I'm going to get to that, all right? I'm going to get to that. Let me just move on because we have a few more slides to go. Here's another quick example of how support and resistance and orders control the market. Now, you could sit here and say, oh, I'm a rocket scientist. I'm a great chart reader. Oh, yeah, stock is going to hit that resistance level. It's going up, no problem. Oh, wow, I was absolutely right. Well, why did it go there? It went there not because of that resistance level. It went down because of the big sellers out there of 10,000, 12,000, 21,000. Talking over 50,000 shares looking to be sold there. All right? Now, everybody ready to have a little test? Everybody ready to have some fun? Let's see if you guys are qualified to trade. Okay. So here we are, looking at a chart right now. The stock right now is trading at 1609. Now, could you guys tell me, do you think the stock's going to go up or go down? Well, look, from what we have right here, it's a very basic chart. Just tell me what you think. You think it's going to go up or down? If you don't know the answer, be honest and just put a question mark. Jim, that's not the question. The question is it going up or is it going down? Say up or down, up, down. Not maybe a little bit pregnant, well, it depends this and that, up or down. Traders, you have to remember, when you trade, you got to buy immediately on impulse. You see it, you know it. It's like coming up to a red light. Do you stop and think about the red light and say, oh, well, is it really turning red? Or do I keep it? That's how trade you have to think, up or down. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what makes resistance levels is sellers. What makes support levels are buyers. Well, I got news for you. There's no buyers. And if there's no buyers to support it now, what do you think is going to happen to the price of the stock? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? So for some of you that said it was going to go up, you just lost your money. And you know how much you lost? Well, how much lower could the stock go? Well, the chart can't give you confirmation because that's old data. You know where the next biggest buyers are? Down here at 1571. That's where your next biggest buyers are. Okay? So this stock can go down another 40 cents. 40 cents on 1,000 shares? It's a lot of money. See that resistance level's right there? That resistance level was stopped because of this 10,000 share seller. You see, ladies and gentlemen, does trading look that hard? Does it look hard yet? It's not. It's really not. You know what the hardest part about trading is? The discipline and the greed. And most important, having someone that will teach you how to do it every day. Now, let's talk about timing during the day. Now, if you guys remember, I was mentioning to you earlier, the reason why I got into education is because trading to me was a part-time job. I was semi-retired at the age of 24. Because 10% of your time is spent on trading, 90% of your time is spent on learning. Well, once I learned, I had all that time on my hands. Now, being a very young kid and people knowing that I was successful and making a lot of money trading, everyone kept asking me, Fausto, could you teach me how to do it? Could you teach me how to do it? And I said, you know, and that's how I got into the education business. And let me tell you, education actually has made me a better trader now than even before, because I could, you know, it kind of opens up your eyes. And listen, anybody here is a teacher. I've done education for some of the most famous professors in college, and they all told me the same thing, you know. But I love what I do, and the thing that I've learned, and I kind of teach all of you guys what to do, is why is trading a part-time job? Because there's a small window when to make their money. By the way, did you guys see the stock ARIA on Friday? Anybody see this stock on Friday? Anybody know what this company does? It's pharmaceutical. No one saw it, only a few of you. Oh, come on. This stock was up 19%, 134,000 shares. Okay? When's the last time you were in a stock that was up $1.40, okay, up 19%? Not very often. Now, this is where we make a lot of our money, ladies and gentlemen. You could see how the stock, right at the open, ran and shot up within 30 minutes. Now, I know this is not a good example. Hold on one second. Let me try to bring this up for you. Hold on. This might help out a little bit better. Can everyone see my chart right here? Can everybody see this okay? All right. So this was at 9:30 this morning. And you can see right at 10:30 the thing made a big run. And then even from here, and that stock went from 740 all the way to 840. It's up $1, you know. And then obviously in the middle of the day, it had another big pop, and it went past the 840 all the way to 980. Okay. So the thing is this, ladies and gentlemen. You made a nice return on the David. Good. I'm glad that you found it. The thing is this. ARIA, I don't know what this company does. I really don't even care. I don't want to know what it does. I don't own it. All I know is that if I bought 1,000 shares and made a $7,000 investment, okay, and then one of you said, Fausto, how much you need to make $200 to $500 a day? If you had a $7,000 account and you made $1,000 on this trade, okay, and let's say you want to make $500, you only need, what, $3,000 in your account? You don't need a lot of money to trade, okay? Well, the thing is this, you know, about the Fibonacci's. I trust orders than Fibonacci's. Fibonacci's is past data. Fibonacci's is a mathematician, you know, data. You know, it works with swing trading and investing. I'm just telling you, it does not work for day trading at all. You need to use those indicators for swing trading, investing, long-term option trading. It does not work for day trading. By the time this thing makes its move right now, the Fibonacci is going to kick in. It's going to be too late. So let me. All right, I apologize. I'm running a little behind. I got less than 10 minutes. I still got a bunch of slides to go through here. Here's another stock. Did anybody see BDSI on Friday? This is one of our tweets and stocks. I also tweet and text my my trades. Nobody saw BD up 50%. Come on, guys. When's the last time you saw a stock up 50%? Up $3 an $8 stock. Look what happened in the close of the market. Stock went right the last 30 minutes. It went from 840 to 940. This was one of our trades. Who here's one of my students, my cyber group traders? Anybody here is a cyber group trader? Carrie, Bill, Pablo. Okay. Didn't we trade this stock? Didn't we do well on it? Made a lot of money also in the INCP. That's right. Okay. So the thing is this. You might look at the Dow and say, oh, my God, the market's down 300 points. Why, you think the Dow had anything to do about BDSI being up 50%? You know? The volume on this stock, BDSI, the volume was 14 million. on the day on BDSI? Well, Pablo, that's what I'm going to talk about at the end of this presentation, how to scan for them. Oh, and also, if you guys are interested, I even came out with a clock, when to trade, when not to trade. If anybody is interested in a cyber clock, I even came out with a mouse pad. I kind of call it my discipline clock. If anybody's interested, just go to our website. I don't know if you guys can see that chat, but just go to Trading Tools, click on our clock. You can buy our clock or you can buy the mouse pad. Really cool tool to have. I can actually call it my discipline clock. All right. So what's the next thing? Because we're running out of time here. I got to get through this. Hope you guys are learning a lot. 50% of the people fail in trading because they have the wrong tools that they need. Okay. So like one of you just mentioned, how do you scan for these stocks? Well, at the end of this presentation, I told you I'm going to invite all of you to join me for 5 days, okay, in the market, in the real market hours. And, you know, one of the things you're going to notice that 80% of you that are trading on an execution system, you don't need some of those bells and whistles. They're overkill, okay? Think about it. Who here has a real-time level 2 running? Who here is watching 70% of the high-frequency trades on total view? Who here has their time and sales up and running? Who here has a basic 1-minute chart up and running? Has their charts laid out? Who here is trading with 4 monitors? 2 monitors. Good friend of mine, Tom Sosnoff from Thinkorswim. Anybody know who he is? I always remember. He always told me the first time I met with him was about 7 years ago in his office. I do a lot of speakings for Thinkorswim, and I went in his office and I was expecting to see like 6 or 10 monitors. I think he's a great trader. He owns Thinkorswim. He trades on 1 monitor. I'm like, my God, I would think you would have more monitors than that. You know what he told me? He says, Fausto, if you can't make money on 1 monitor, how the hell are you going to make money on 6? So always keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Now, about the KISS method. The KISS method is called Keep It Super Simple. Yeah, that's right. He's on Tasty Trade. Now he owns Tasty Trade. The KISS method, be very careful with these indicators. If you're investing, if you're forex trading, if you're futures trading, anything more than overnight, you could use indicators. But when it comes to day trading, it does not work. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, be careful with indicators because some of you guys get too overwhelmed and you get too involved, and what you're going to end up doing, you're going to become a complete analyst. But the difference, what I say, paralysis, technical analysis turns to become paralysis. So you got to be really careful because you'll know when the stock's going up and going down, but you'll never do the trade. So know what your profit goals are, daily, weekly, be realistic. Do you know if you make 20 cents in the market, 20 cents on 1,000 shares, that's $200 a day, that's $4,000 a month, that's almost $50,000 a year. 20 cents. It's all some of you probably need to look at. You know how hard some people have to work to make $200 a day? So that's the difference about trading. First of all, you don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of money to trade. That's a misconception people get, and that's the way how you have to look at it. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, the cheapest, most inexpensive trade you're going to make, the most inexpensive trade you're going to make, ladies and gentlemen, is get education. And that's why MTI is running a great event, inviting all of you guys here to see what it's like to learn how to trade different markets. And what I always recommend all of you is listen to all the speakers and listen. And it's okay to take more than one class from certain people. Don't settle for just saying, this is the guy. And you know what? And then you go through it and you learn from him and says, you know what, I liked it, but I think it's a little different. Don't be afraid to try with other people and listen. That's why we do these events. This is a great interview. This is a great education. But just please keep in mind, you need to make an investment, and your investment is in your education. And then with your education that you make in that investment, will pay 10, 20, 100 times down the road. Now, Cyber Trading University, was ranked #1 school 6 years in a row by Equities Magazine. One of you were kind of asking me about the dark pools. Active Trader Magazine wrote a front-page article on me. If anybody wants to read it, it's a 9-page article. I'll give you my personal email address, faustop@ctucorp.com. Feel free to email me, and I'll be happy to send you those articles. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to call me. Now, like I mentioned to you earlier, I'm going to prostitute myself for $4 a day. That's it, $4, okay? You guys sit here and, you're like, wow, Fausto, that looks good, that looks good. Wow, you traded that, you traded that. But what about the losers, okay? What about you talk about all these great winners. Do you make on money? No, I don't. No, I don't. And you know what? I don't want you to judge me by what you're seeing today. I want you to judge me in the market. I want you to judge me for 5 days, okay? In my 5 days, I do a live broadcast, and I'll teach you how to trade the pre-market. I'll show you how to trade going into the close. I'll teach you how to become and make this a part-time job, okay? But I'm only asking for $19. Okay, we have to charge you because for compliance purposes. If I could do it for free, I would do it for free, okay? But right on our homepage of our website, it's a very simple email address. It's called www.ctu.co. It's our new web address. It's not .com, .co, ctu.co. Go there, right on the homepage of the website. You'll see right there, ladies and gentlemen, $19. Register for the 5 days, and judge me after 5 days, and let me show you. And listen, there's going to be a lot of great content that people are going to offer you in today's event, okay? You should try all of us. Don't be afraid to try all of us. Find out what works best for you. You might not like stocks. You might be preparing your whole life about this, but you might like futures, or you might like Forex, or you might be preparing for options and realize, man, options pretty complicated. Maybe let me start learning from stocks. So go out there and try it out. The worst thing that's going to happen, that you're going to learn, is you're going to learn something. That's the worst thing that could happen, you being here. Now, here's my personal email address, faustop@ctucorp.com. If anybody has any email, any questions, don't hesitate to give me an email. I answer back all my emails. I do get hundreds of them, so usually within 24 to 48 hours, I usually get back to you. All right? So you can call in 877-70-CYBER. We have some education advisors and some instructors standing by. If you have any questions, feel free. We have a full staff here today that could take any questions you might have. But if you just want to take a shot with me and see what Fausto is really going to talk about for 5 days, just go to ctu.co and we'll get you registered, and you'll see, and you'll be introduced by other students and how to make $200 to $500 a day. All right? 1 or 2 questions I could answer, but I'm out of time here. How much capital do you need to trade stocks? Listen, that stock BDSO was what? It was a $9 stock, an $8 stock. How much money do you think you needed to trade that stock? $8,000? When you deal with more expensive stocks, you deal with more experienced traders. More experienced traders, more volatile stock, more danger, more chance of you to lose. And you're competing with the best traders on Wall Street. You're not going to beat them. That was another mistake that I made. You don't need $50K. Use that and go invest it somewhere else. Any other questions I can answer pretty quickly? Right. You can use towards Forex. Trade different markets. You don't need a lot of money. Yeah, Jay, actually February, the beginning of February, for you Canadians, yes, we're almost pretty much done with our deal with Quest Trade. Okay, Jad, it was just, things took a little bit longer than we wanted to. We apologize. You know how these things go, but yes, we'll have that done. I believe it's February 1st. How much is total view? $15 a month. But you know what, James? Do not buy it because I didn't teach you how to use it. Okay, it's like me saying, oh, you could buy your own car, and you're going to go drive it. You know what's going to end up happening? You're going to crash. I hate to say it. Don't do anything that I taught you unless I'm going to show you. Let me show you for the $19 for 5 days, and then you'll learn exactly how to use it by then. John, more margin, more danger. You don't need to go out there and get yourself in trouble. Another big mistake, how people got themselves in trouble. I trade the first hour and the last half hour. That's it. I don't trade E-minis, but you're going to have a couple of speakers going to talk about that. Okay? 5-day start on Monday. Could this session be recorded? Yes, it will be recorded, Jeff. Like I said, anything, the recordings that we do are recorded, you know, when we do the morning meeting in the afternoon. So if you can't be there during the day, you could access on your cell phone. We use WebEx technology, so you could listen to it, and you can log in from there. All right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I really apologize. I went 2 minutes past. I want to give you guys some time to register if you want to come and join me. In the meantime, you guys got a great event, a great lineup of speakers today. Listen, sit back, learn, listen, make an investment in yourself. Make an investment to actually listen to all of us. You know, you got to spend a little to learn a little, all right? So don't be afraid to go out there and take the time and see and learn because, listen, 90%, not 80, but I will say 90% of people fail because they all want to be self-taught. And, you know, and trading is not that easy. The cheapest trade you're going to make is get educated, and that's why you're all here. So do yourself a favor, go out there, learn, find someone you like the industry, learn all the industries, and then go from there because I'll make you one old guarantee. The stock market, the Forex market, the future market are not going out of business, and it will never go out of business. So go there, learn first because it's never too late to learn. Thanks, everyone. I'd like to thank MTI for having me and all. Look forward to see you all on Monday. Have a great Saturday.